Hello, welcome back to another YouTube video. I am back. I'm back with a vengeance. No, I'm just kidding. There's no vengeance here. Something has changed since the last time that I was here, though. I am now 30 years old. Oh shit! I just hear that now. It hits you. 30. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to get into my thoughts about that in a second. But I just wanted to kind of reflect on making YouTube content again. I've been binge watching another YouTuber, Callum's Corner. And I recall that his content, well, he started getting traction maybe like 2016, 2015. And it's an interesting scenario because with most creators, you know, they have like a moment of obscurity, they get to the top, and then their content deteriorates, right? But I feel like he's one of the rare cases where actually he started off with okay-ish content. You know, he was clearly a very charismatic guy and very fun and entertaining to listen to. But now is creating banger after banger after banger, just really excellent content. And you know, I've been enjoying binge watching his content, and it's been quite inspiring. And the reason that I bring this up is that Callum's Corner, or Callum, is really kind of good at vlogs, right? He does these really long vlogs. Now, it's interesting to me that vlogs are becoming kind of popular again, because I feel like with a lot of these things, you know, it goes in kind of waves. You know, 1 minute something is popular, the next minute it's not. And normally over the course of a few years, you know, you have these waves and then something else replaces it. And I was kind of the opinion or the understanding that short form content is the one and the only right now, and long form content, there is an audience for it, but it's maybe not as big as the short form content audience. Or maybe it's just different. I don't know. But I see his content, I think it's excellent, and it's really inspiring to me, a guy that, you know, I don't have all the equipment yet to make the best quality content, but I do have the means to create long form content. I have ideas. I'm always having newer ideas day after day, and I feel much more confident than I did. And I look at people like him as inspiration, and who knows, maybe in the future we'll become a big successful creator, and it will lead somewhere. But right now I just wanted to kind of just make a point of saying, well, firstly, if you haven't checked out Callum's Corner, go check him out. He's making truly excellent content. And secondly, I would hope that that's something that you can expect to see on this channel more and more as time goes on. I will always keep doing content for the Patreon, patreon.com/Christian Reeve. Of course, the podcasts, acting, and everything in between. And I'll still try and do short form content on platforms like TikTok and such. But I want to really try to keep making YouTube videos and get bigger and better with that. I had a really positive response to, as far as feedback is concerned, to the day in the life of an actor video, and it kind of just inspired me. Like, I was like, okay, you guys like that, huh? Well, maybe I can make similar content, because I used to do vlogs all the time. For people who've subscribed for some time, I used to do that all the time. It used to be like big long form vlogs, and then I kind of soured on the idea. I didn't like it. I privated, deleted videos, all that jazz. Yeah, we all go through those themes. Who knows, maybe one day this video will be deleted, I don't know. But right now it makes sense. And I don't know, I guess I just kind of thought, you know what, maybe there is a place for it. Maybe there's something here, something I can do. You know, it's not quite a podcast, it's not that long, but you know, maybe there's an audience for it. Maybe you watching this right now, you'll look at this, you have no idea who I am or what I'm about, but you think, you know what, I've got maybe 5-10 minutes, this is somewhat interesting. Or maybe not, maybe you hate it, I don't know, but let me know. Let's move things forward. Again, I'm going to make you wait for my reflections on turning 30, because two reasons. One, I'm going to do a full episode of that on my Patreon. So here's your plug, patreon.com. Patreon, mate. Patreon.com/Christian Reeve. You can support me there if you would like, and you can get access to the Life with Christian Reeve series, which is basically my podcast about me. So if you like listening to me talk about me, that's your show. If you don't want to listen to me talk about me, but you do want to hear me interview people and talk to people and go deep dive on stuff, then the Christian Reeve podcast is for you. But I've got this show, it's on my Patreon, it's for them subscribers, so thank you to everyone who's subscribed. And that's where I thought I would post my, turning 30, what I've learned in my 20s, big retrospective. It's going to be a big episode, I'm going to film it later today. But I thought it was a bit unfair to not kind of have like a little bit of a small video on YouTube or something where I say, hey, here are my initial thoughts. So you'll get them in a minute, I promise you that. I'm a man of my word. But I have one package left. Let's call it a late birthday present. I believe this is from the lovely Vilma, so thank you so much. This is from my Amazon wishlist, so if you want to check that out, I have an Amazon wishlist. It's on my Linktree. Links will be included below. What is this? Oh wow, okay. So, happy 30th birthday from Vilma. Thank you so much, Vilma, for this, for the sunglasses and the shirt. I sincerely appreciate it, especially the sunglasses. I'm getting a lot of fun out of those. Yeah, I actually just used them for a self-tape to add to the arrogantness of this particular character I was trying to portray, and it worked. Plus, what's funny as well is when I was walking around London this weekend, I wore them quite a lot. And people look at you a lot. And I don't know if that's because I just look silly, probably. Or if maybe they have that like movie star look about them. Or maybe it's the old thing of, is that person looking at me or not? I don't know, it's making me feel uncomfortable. Circa weird FBI look. I don't know, it could be that. This was on my wish list for some time, and this is fascinating. It's Michael Caine's Acting in Film. Thank you so much for this, Vilma. I will be binge reading this very soon. Of course, Michael Caine is a sensational actor, and I believe he was the man who made the point, and I'm sure other people have said this, but he quite prominently said that you should never look directly at the camera. You should sort of like look off to the side. So even if the shot tells you to look directly into it, unless the director explicitly says so, always try to look off it or away from it slightly, so you're never directly looking at it. There's actually Michael Caine and I think Jack Nicholson actually in that picture. But yeah, this is going to be an absolute brilliant book, I can tell, and it continues my education of acting, which I'm trying to get into. As you know, it's my dream, it's my goal in life to be a professional actor. I've been acting now for 4 years. And let's hope I get a break or something. I don't know. So thank you so much for that. I'll be binging that soon. Now, the main event. My thoughts on turning 30. In the run up to the day, I honestly kind of felt mixed feelings, to be honest. It was because a lot of people I hear, they're like, "Oh, it's all downhill from here. Oh no, you're not young anymore. You're getting old." And there's truth in that. But to be honest, I was mostly looking forward to turning 30. I think I thought a lot about my friends that haven't made it to this age, who passed away years ago. Sorry to begin this on such a heavy note, but I feel like this birthday has been very bittersweet. Mostly sweet and wonderful, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. But I have sat down and reflected a lot on family, friendship, where my life is at this point in time. I just found myself kind of sitting there and being grateful a lot for everything. Even just the little things, sitting down and having some tea with family, or just like activities together, like all those seemingly simple things meant so much to me. And I think that I began to understand that years ago, I think I did take that stuff for granted, as we all do. I'm sure if you're watching this now, you're probably thinking about the little things that you take for granted every single day, the people, the places, the little things in your life that make life that little bit better, that little bit easier, or enjoyable. I can't stop thinking about that. I can't stop thinking about how much I appreciate the people in my life, how much I love them and care for them and respect them. And I guess what this birthday has really done for me is it's kind of rejigged my mind and kind of made me realize what's important, you know, my priorities. And that's good, right? You know, it should be that. But it's, you know, I didn't party, I didn't go nuts or anything. Obviously I don't drink anymore. And you know me, I sit and deep dive on things. I get very deep on things all the time. I think that's just my personality, really. But for some reason, throughout this whole weekend just gone, I couldn't stop thinking about that, about how grateful I am and how things don't last forever. There is a beginning and an end to everything. And I need to embrace right now as much as possible. And as I say, later on I'll be giving a big account of all of this in greater detail on the Patreon, and I'll share some life lessons there and what I've learned and such. But one thing I'll share right now is that I think it's so important to live in the now. If you're listening to this, watching this, and you're young, maybe you're in your teenage years or your early 20s or something like that, live in this moment. Embrace this moment. Take it for everything that it's worth. If you have opportunities to go out and do things, go out and do them. Don't be afraid. Just go and do it. The money will come. If you're worried about spending money, there's a million different ways to make money. There always will be. You'll make the money back. You can't get time back. You'll never get that back. Once an opportunity has come and gone, it's never coming back. Few people get that lucky that they get the same opportunity twice in life. So make the most of this time. Every time you get an opportunity, every time, it's not just opportunities either, it's experiences. You might be content with just sitting at home and just chilling. I know I am a lot of the time. But go out and do the thing. Don't just do the same thing every day. Mix it up a little bit. And the reason why is that you'll never know what you might discover about life, about yourself, who you might meet. You might meet the love of your life. And think about this. If you don't go, what if you miss the opportunity to meet the love of your life? Did you ever think about that? Just go out there. Experience life. Even if it seems silly or trivial, you know, like, oh, I'm probably going to hate that. Well, how do you know unless you try? Maybe you'll love it. And you know what? Even the bad experiences in life can be good. When I think of the bad times in my life, sure, they sucked when I dealt with them, and you deal with them as best you can. But years later, sometimes you find yourself laughing at them. Or you find yourself kind of being grateful that you learnt them because they shaped you into the person that you are today. I try to look at life like a book with different chapters, and every person that I was in the past is a different person. The essence of you never really changes. That'll always be the same, but you do change. When I look at teenage me in my 20s, and me now, it's three different people. I'm fascinated to see what I will become in the next 10, 15 years, where life will take me, because it's already been such a tumultuous, such a crazy journey, and so much has happened. I lived in another country for 3 years. I studied at university. I met people from around the world. I've traveled to quite a few different countries around the world. I've seen and experienced things that have changed the way that I view life. I've learned to care and love the people that I care about so much more. I think I've understood what love really is, or at least I have an understanding of love now that I never really had before. And I feel that that comes with experience and time. And I think one of the biggest things I've learned to do is speak from the heart. You know, I have to make sure a lot of the time I don't get like too emotional. I can feel the tears right now. I'm trying to hold back the tears, but you know, it's like a lot of the time in life, you're expected to say something, have an opinion on everything, whatever, and sometimes you feel like maybe you have to be someone that you're not. You don't have to be anyone that you're not. Just be you. That's the truth. That's the way it should be. Be you. Some people will like you, some people won't. But at least you'll always know that it's true, and it's the truest representation of who you are as a person. And I always just go by that. I react to that. And yeah, I'm happy to be 30, to be honest. There's been quite a few people who've said to me, people I love, people I care about, people I respect, they've said this will be the best decade of your life. I hope so. My 20s wasn't all bad. There was a lot of good in there, but it was mostly quite difficult. There was a lot of life challenges, things that needed to happen, but there was a lot of hard times that I feel were justified, but challenging to the point that I'm glad I made it through and that I'm still here. The biggest thing I think I'm grateful for is that I'm here. I didn't think I would be here. That's not me trying to sound melodramatic or, you know, dark for the sake of a YouTube video, but there were quite a few times over the years, especially the last 5 to 7 years, I didn't think I would still be here. I had to think of reasons to stay, and to be honest, some of the biggest reasons I chose to stay were the people in my life. I didn't want to let other people down, both people that are here and people that are no longer here. For a long time I kept going because I felt I was living in tribute to all those people. I was like, you know what, I'm not happy, but maybe they can be happy. Maybe I can make them happy, make them proud. I'll keep going. I'll keep going. And you know how it is, day after day, it gets a little bit easier. Sometimes it gets harder and easier, and you know, you go through these waves like I mentioned before, but eventually things start working out. Eventually you start making decisions that are right for you and moves that are right for you, and suddenly life doesn't seem so bad. Suddenly you start looking at life and you realize you love life, you enjoy life. A lot of the time now I find myself asking like for more time. I'm like, I wish there was more time. And because of that, I try to make every moment count. And I really, really take that very seriously now. I see it as an honor to live and to experience it and to make the most of it. It's not always easy. There are moments when it's challenging. But that's what the journey's about. It wasn't supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be everything in between. The bad times make you appreciate the good times, and the good times, they're made so much better because you got through the bad times. If you can learn anything, learn to appreciate life and everything that it has to offer. Learn to fall in love with life. And I think we'll end it there. Happy to have made it to 30 and onwards to the next however many years I have on this world. Thank you so much for watching this video, for for subscribing, for checking out my Patreon, my podcast, my acting journey. Or if nothing else, thank you for sitting and listening to this message, and I hope that wherever you are in your life, it brings some positivity to you. Thank you so much. Until next time.